Hello, welcome back to Pages into the Past. Welcome to my new camera. So today we're going to continue our journey on our Trossfrau. I need to mock up the bodice, the under bodice, and the outer bodice. The under bodice is going to be made from linen. The outer bodice will be made from that lovely purple wool that I found last year at such a great steal. So I think I'm going to pull out my Margot Anderson patterns and see if there's anything that comes close, so I can start with my mock-up. So I decided that I was going to draft a bodice because it looks like there are 15 different ways to make this bodice. So I'm using scrap fabric, and what I'm going to do is on my dress form, I will be drawing where I want everything and fitting it to the dress form. And then once I get that where I want it, then I will be trying it on myself. Alright, so the first thing that I've done is I've cut away most of the bulk here so that I can start pinching and squeezing and trying to get this as tightly fitted as possible so that I can then cut out my neckline, cut out where my waist will end, or at least mark it so that when I put it on myself, I see what needs to be adjusted. There we go. Now this is a good starting spot. You can see how I've cut all of the excess fabric off. I've pinned it tight. She does look a little lopsided, but then I think I'm lopsided. But this is just a rough draft. This is how to get you started into how to drape. And so the next step is to stitch up the seams, to add some lacing strips to the side, and to actually try it on myself to see how the fit is. Here is the basic mock-up. Everything that I pinned, and then I added the lacing on the side. And so now I'm going to draw down the lacing to see how supportive. Now I did leave my bra on just because I wasn't quite sure how see-through everything was going to be, and this being cotton, but I guess cotton's not that far from linen. So you can see here there is lacing on the sides. I was reading, one of the gals said that she laced hers on the side for support, but I'm thinking I'm really going to have to extend the front down even more in order to get, I don't know, what if I take it in? I get proper lift. Well, I think what I'm going to do is, let's get lift first, where we want to be. I may just have to wear a bra because the difference here brings us up so much higher than I think it should be. Yep, I'm just going to have to make it with a bra. The shoulders, I don't feel like they're super falling off. I'm going to take it in a little bit more. Actually, that looks pretty good. I think I'm going to use this for my mock-up. And I will use this side. Because this here is not quite as much as this here. And this shoulder fits much better. So what I'll do is I'll remark my center front so that I know. As you can see, I marked it. And it just needs to come over maybe ½ inch. And then what I'll do is I'll do this side. I'll mark this side as the good side and make that into my underdress bodice. It's been a few days since I took my mock-up apart for my linen underdress. So today what I've done is I've cut out the linen lining, and I was going to add extra stripping because the lacing holes are on the side. And I was thinking about how I was going to finish the edges, and I decided to cut out another piece of white linen to do the lining because I think that'll make it a little bit stronger as well as a little bit more supportive so that all of the weight is not on one layer of linen. So now I'm going to stitch those up The other thing that I did is I took a measurement of my, a little bit longer than my waist measurement to floor, and I cut off about a 10-inch strip from the length or the width of the rest of the linen that was left over, because there was only about a 3-yard piece. And so that's going to be sewn in as the skirt, and then all I have to do is hem it. So I'm going to sew this together, and then I'm going to put in my grommets, and I'll take you along when I put in my grommets. Okay, so I got that lining sewed in, and I put it on, and it's not very supportive. So I think what I'm going to have to do, I have a lot of gappage here, and so I'm going to go ahead and take in the side seams, probably fold these side pieces over one more time so that I can get a little bit more support, because right now I feel like there's no support. So we'll try that again and see what happens. You can see how I've pre-marked my slots of where I want to. This is going to be spiral laced, and so you saw my fun little tool out there, my seam gauge, and it measures them all apart. Now, because this is going through 4 layers of fabric, I also have my awl, because it's quite a bit of fabric. It's probably more than, let's see, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 layers of linen, because I double folded it instead of cutting it off. I really want this to be a strength layer because of the amount of pull spiral lacing is going to do to it, and the amount of support it needs to provide. How pretty that works. So I'm going to finish those up, and then we'll give it a try on. I've changed into a little chemise, took my bra off so that we could see how this side lacing will support. Spiral lacing is one of those things that you have to kind of learn how to do. And it's because all the grommets are offset that usually if you pull one side, it'll string through easier. But I picked up some weird shoelaces to do this, and they have a little stretch to them. And so it's not working as easy as I thought it was going to. But there we go. There's one side. So now what we'll do is the other side while tightening. So yes, this is it's a two-handed job here, trying to support yourself while you're tightening your laces. And I believe that once I get this fairly cinched, I will have enough support Now this top will also have a skirt attached to it. So yeah, I'm super happy with that. There's support there. Girls ain't going nowhere. Okay, so the grommets that I showed you before were the Waywack garment ones. And they went in my machine really nice. They turn out really well. I've gotten some before in other places that weren't really good. But yeah, I'm super happy with this. Okay, so now I'm going to add the skirt. I'll have an opening here and an opening here, just so that I can ease in and out with the grommet strings, because that way when I take this off, this has to have room to spread. So there'll be some kind of an opening, a V opening here, so that this pulls closed. So for Christmas, my husband got me this hand crimping tool. It's They're called connection tongs, and what they're supposed to do is you're supposed to put the end of your shoelace in here. Try that in the small one. Oh, well, that didn't work. Alright, so that didn't exactly roll it. So let me cut off a fresh end here. Hey everybody, I'm going to try this one more time. And I got my string or my lacing cut at 2-yard pieces. And I'm putting this in the little crimper. These crimpers are circled at the end like a tennis shoe crimper. And so what I found is that if you put it in the short side versus the deep side, it works much better for it to crimp this closed. So if I put the crimper in, then put the shoelace, and then I just kind of close it off and give it a good squeeze. It encloses it fully. Okay, so it could be a little tighter, I think. Not quite sure what I'm going to do to change all of that, but I think it would be okay to wear, you know, as is. Not quite as supportive. I mean, it's supportive. May still end up wearing a bra with it just to keep everything where it's supposed to be. Still have to hem it. It's not super, super wide. But then, I don't think this whole outfit is supposed to be super wide. So, I'm going to hem this, and then I will post the video because it'll be done. So, thanks for watching. And be sure to subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And if you're new here, welcome to my channel. I try to help you make it yourself with as much direction without being too much. Sometimes I ramble on, and so I've been cutting out a lot of the rambling on. But make sure you subscribe if you want to see more of my costumes. Have a great day.